Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lifestyle with Dr. Mobi. I'm Dr. Mobi, and we are fortunate to have great guest today, and his name is Sammy. Let's welcome Sammy. How are you, sir?
Hi, how's everybody doing?
Good, good. Well, thank you for coming in. Tell us about yourself, your journey, and we'll go from there.
All right. Well, I pretty much came from rock bottom. In July 2012, I had just gotten a promotion. I was going to be a warehouse manager at a freight forwarding company. But on July 3rd, I was playing football, American football, with some friends, and I blew out my knee. And once that happened, I couldn't perform that job, so I got laid off. And my injury was so severe that for 6 months I had to stay in like a straight leg cast. So I literally like couldn't do anything. So I lost my job, I lost my apartment, I lost everything. Just by the grace of God, my friend was letting me sleep on his couch, and you know after that injury happened and after everything that happened, it kind of woke me up that that I need to get going. I need to not you know do what I was doing before. And now I own two apartment buildings. I own uh, two businesses. So life is going good.
Well, congratulations on that. That's a big thing, and probably a lot of learning and motivation for a lot of folks who are watching us.
Yeah.
So tell us, I'm sure it was a big change. At that time, you were not expecting all that sudden, pause to your career. And so you were a professional football player or just,
No, no, no. We were just at a barbecue with friends. I was going to be a warehouse manager. I literally just got promoted like a couple of days before that,
Mhm,
and but after that injury happened, I couldn't
mhm,
perform my job, so they laid me off. But one thing, I back then I wasn't very good with money. I didn't have anything in my savings. I didn't, I had nothing. So once that injury happened, it just snowballed downhill. So I lost the apartment I was staying in. Lost the job, and then I had to sleep on my friend's couch. So
Okay, yeah, and that must be a big change, and one thing I think you have mentioned is that you were not very good with money management at that time, or you didn't think, but that difficult spot put you to kind of next level, made you think on, your finances, your goals, and kind of work from there, right?
yeah, exactly. Different revenue streams. Like I said, I own real estate. I own an apartment building that it makes me $1,000 a month. I own two businesses that make me pretty good money. But it's different revenue streams. So if one fails or if something happens in that one, I still have these other two. Or if something happens in this one, then I still have these other two. So it's not and it really really taught me about savings and like finance, because you know now whatever happens in any of my companies or my real estate, it stays within that company. I don't mix any of my revenue from any of my companies. Okay, so the real estate is its own thing. It has its own money. The marketing agency is its own thing and has its own money, and the online coaching is its own thing and has its own money. So I don't mix it up, because you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, as they say.
Probably true, because otherwise, if you're doing a loss on one and then you're covering with, then eventually you won't have kind of running of any of those streams. You will just be one stream by multiple names, right?
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
so,
And then and
uh,
then
so
then also, if you're using the money from one to try to help the other one, it's you're kind of hoping or pushing for that other one to succeed, and there's no guarantee that it will succeed. So you might be wasting your money from the one stream, putting it into the other one, and it might not succeed anyway. So now you're wasting two streams instead of just the one.
Yeah, that is true. And also tell us a little bit for anyone to start with some of these business ideas or real estate. So do you think where someone can just venture or learn?
Well, I mean, I read I read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. Okay, this is while I was injured, and it really changed my perspective on money and what I need to do with the money that I actually have. Okay, now my real estate adventure is pretty extraordinary because I I purchased my first apartment building for $1,500. That's it. A lot of people think that you need a ton of money to put into it and stuff like that, and it's just not true. They have programs. If you're a first time buyer, there's a government program that'll help you with down payment assistance. There's um, you could get the seller to help you with the closing costs and all that. So, I mean, it really brings the cost down and the capital that you need in order to purchase that. Now, as soon as I purchased that building and as soon as I put tenants in, it was giving me $1,000 a month. My my cash on cash return was something like 700% on that building. So,
That's very good. That's very neat. So that is a good thing is you kind of went out and read about it and then
mhm.
experimented and so were you also interested in expanding your real estate and buying more units?
Yes, eventually, once the marketing agency and the coaching agency kind of level out, then I will use that money from there to purchase more real estate because real estate is more predictable. It's more consistent than like sales is. Okay, so that you're getting that money every single month. I mean, unless you get a bad tenant or something, but if you do your due diligence, then you're getting that money every single month. Whereas sales, you know. You could have an off month, you could have a couple of off months or something like that, and then it really messes up your financing and stuff like that. So you need to you need something more consistent, more more predictable.
So for the real estate, do you recommend or do you think is good to have one flip a house flipping or is it more of buy small
Well,
family single family?
if you want to retire,
Hmm.
if you want to try to use it to retire, you need to do multifamily, okay? Because house flipping pretty much turns into another job. I have done it before, but like I said, it turns into another job. You have to keep getting houses. You have to keep getting materials. You have to watch over your construction workers and all that, and and you really have to. It turns into a second job, and that's one thing that I didn't want. So what I did was I invested in multifamilies where I put the tenants in there. If I want, I can get a management company, and they do everything for me. So I just sit there and collect the money, and they do everything for me. And it didn't turn into a second job. That's actually why I was able to start the marketing agency and the online coaching, and I'm still doing this while I have a normal job. So.
Okay, that's good. So you're recommending starting maybe few multi-family unit or those and then see if you can uh, get better tenants and management company and then see if that works out, right?
Yeah, yeah. So what you do when you're looking for a real estate building, one that you want to try to profit off of, you need to you need to calculate the cash flow per month. If you've ever read Rich Dad Poor Dad, he specifically talks about cash flow, cash flow, cash flow. So that's exactly the mindset that I went into when I was doing the real estate. That I wanted something that cash flowed the absolute most. So I was getting that money every single month, and it's pretty. I mean, you could go really, really in depth about, all the expenses and stuff like that, but I don't really do that. Pretty much what I do is I take the mortgage, and if I have to pay for electricity or gas, and then I see how much the rent is going to be, the rent that I'm going to collect from the building, and then, uh, once you subtract those, that's your cash per month. So
So what you're saying is that, yeah, I happen to also read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and one thing I found in that was actually good, that he says whatever is your expense, if you somehow get that equivalent cash flow, and somehow manage that, then everything above is your saving, should be your
mhm.
saving. So
Yep.
then you should not then worry about, like you said, cash flow, but your basic needs. So if you don't increase your overhead, of course, that's,
Exactly.
so
Yep.
then you should have saving. But if you buy the items to, luxury items, then they don't bring any revenue for you, unless.
Yeah, exactly. I don't, I'm not some guru or anything like that. I don't have a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. I have a Mazda. I live in one of my apartment buildings. I live rent free
Uh-huh.
because the tenants are paying the rent for me. So I don't have to pay, anything for rent or a mortgage or anything like that. But no, yeah, you can't, once you get like a little bit of money, you can't just go out and buy expensive things. Otherwise, you're just going to bring your expenses up to what you're making, and you're still going to be in what he called that rat race. So
Yeah, yeah,
it's
exactly.
a very good point.
Yeah, I remember him. Actually, I was fascinated by that book too, and I read that. And but I had a hard time finding good. I mean, real estate, commercial real estate, but not residential. So, do you find residential better than commercial?
Yeah, especially right now. Commercial. I mean, if you're gonna go for like the very big buildings, then fine, But even those are having a hard time trying to fill or sell all the condominiums out.
Mm.
And commercial, you also have like storefronts and stuff like that. And small businesses right now are not really doing that well. So trying to find yourself like a long-term tenant for like a storefront or something like that is pretty hard. So everybody always needs a place to live. So I try to stick with the residential. I go for two flats, three flats, things like
Mm.
that.
Okay, great. Are there any particular areas you find it more better, or where to find lesser expensive units? Are there like foreclosures, or just by any?
Uh, I mean, right now there's going to be a lot of foreclosures coming because of COVID-19. Um, a lot of people got out of work and then they're not going to be able to pay those bills.
Yeah.
Um, so there are going to be foreclosures coming, but I didn't go for foreclosures. I just went for regular, two flats, or like I said, it really depends on the numbers. I check the numbers, and if the cash flow is going to be positive to where I want it to be, then I go for that. But
Okay.
I'm in Chicago. I only do local in Chicago, so I kind of know the good areas, and I tend to stay away from the bad areas.
Hmm. Yeah. So that was one thing. I think I had also a couple of people advising, and they said, the only problem you run into those multi units is if the tenants are not of one type, they can start fighting, and then you could have a lot of problems. If you don't do the due diligence, like you pointed out,
Yeah.
that those are
Mhm.
important, to check the credit history and so forth. So tell us also about your other ventures. You say you do on coaching and so forth.
Yeah, so I started a marketing agency. I run Facebook ads for businesses, and it's going really well. I got some like all my clients pay between $2,000 and $7,000 a month. It really depends on how big their lead is. So for example, people that are in real estate, their lead is sometimes worth $4,500, and if you get them 10 a month, you're making them $45,000. So charging them $7,000 is not a big deal to them. Um, I I started that, and
I was doing really good at that, but people weren't able to pay. Some people weren't able to pay, or that they, and I kind of felt bad because these are small businesses, and um, I came, like I said, I came from the the gutter, so I see where they're coming from. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to create a online course for small businesses to where they could do the marketing themselves. The marketing is not that hard to do if you have like a little bit of guidance. So that's what I did. I created an online course so small businesses can learn how to do the ads themselves. But I also created a mastermind group where anybody that joins that course will have me on retainer. So if they ever have any questions or anything about their ads, then what I'll do is I'll jump on a Zoom call and I'll help them through that.
yeah, like I said, they so some people weren't able to pay what I wanted, for my services,
Mm-hmm.
and me coming from sleeping on my friend's couch, I understand where they're coming from, and they want their business to succeed. So now my high ticket clients, I try to keep my high ticket clients, but everybody else, I want them to succeed. And another guy came to me. He owned an e-commerce website, and he was paying $4,000 a month to an agency that was making him 25 grand a month, which is not bad. Um, but I told him, well, what if you could do your own ads for $1,000 a month? Would you do it? And he said, yeah, he would. So that's kind of where I got the idea to make that online course. So that way he could learn how to do it himself. He could learn how to do it professionally. So he's not wasting his money. And then he can save himself $3,000 a month.
Mm. Yeah, makes sense. So do you have an ad agency? Do you kind of create ad or do you use software?
No, I create them myself. Or I create them myself. I studied a lot, and I've been doing ads for years. So I kind of know all the little tips and tricks and stuff like that. And that's what I teach everybody. I teach them what to do, what not to do, what to say, what not to say. Uh, and
So
it's very, very successful.
okay, great, great. So tell us for audience, what is your website so they can check you out?
Just do facebook.com/market share marketing. Uh, that's my uh, that's my marketing agency page. And then once you join that, if you guys are, or you could search for Facebook ad help for businesses, and that's my group. If they wanted to join my group, so I wanted to run a special for all of your listeners. What
Sure.
I was going to do was offer a lifetime membership to that mastermind group. So if they buy the course, then they will have me for a lifetime, and I'll be there to help them.
Mm. So in what way it helps the marketing is any business so get more clients to call in or more
Yeah.
followers, likes?
No, I mean, like it really depends on what you want. If you want likes or engagement, then you can run a Facebook ad specifically for that. Or if you want leads, if you want, you know, uh, people that are going to buy your product from your e-commerce store, or if you're a real estate agent and you want to find people that buy or, that want to buy or sell a home, I teach them how to get those clients.
Oh, okay, very good, very good.
Yeah, I mean,
So
it's literally for anyone. So you're talking, e-commerce. I mean, if you're a plumber, if you clean houses, if you're a real estate agent, whatever business you have or do, like for example, for you, I could find people that could be guests on your show. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
it's and Facebook ads are very cheap. They're very effective because the targeting in Facebook is absolutely insane. So, I mean, you could really, really target down to what you need.
Mm. Okay, great. And so tell us also about some of the other You said you online coaching, and you have your one is real estate, and the third one was also on the same.
Yeah, yeah, it was the marketing agency. So I
Oh,
started the marketing Yeah, I started the marketing agency first, where I was getting, where I am doing the work for businesses. Some people think that they don't have time to do the ads themselves and stuff like that. So okay, fine. I'll charge you my premium, and do the ads for you, because it's taking up my time. But for those people that don't want to get charged that premium, like I said, I charge between $2,000 and $7,000 a month. So if they wanted to do it themselves, then it's well, like I said, for your users, I'm doing a one-time fee, $1,000, and you have me for life. Okay. Normally, this program, what I do is I charge $1,000 per month for the program, so they learn how to do the ads, and
mhm,
then they pay me on retainer $1,000 a month, so I'm there to help them.
mhm.
But I made a special for your viewers that
Sure.
it's just a one-time fee, and I'm there to help them, and until I'm 65 and retired, I guess.
Yeah, that's really nice. And tell us also about one of the other in Chicago's. I've been to Chicago many times. So, is it coming back, the businesses, or is it still slow?
uh, to be honest, it's pretty slow still. It's very democratic here, so they're playing it very, very safe. We're still closed. They actually wanted to cancel Halloween, but I guess they just came up with some guidelines, um, to where we can go out and trick or treat. I can take my kids trick or treating now, so that's good.
Mm-hmm. And what about security? I was hearing there were some issues, concern about security. Is it better now, or?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We haven't had anything in a while. Downtown was pretty rough for a while. With the riots and stuff like that. Some of those big businesses down there are moving out. They're kind of tired of it because the one riot happened, and their building got destroyed, and then they fixed it all up, and then another one happened, and it got destroyed again. So they didn't want to stay there again. So.
Mm. So, any final thoughts or things you have for our audience, who are still kind of worried about all these difficult times?
You know what? My thing is just don't give up. You know what I mean? I mean, believe me, there is a time to give up. Like if you're just sitting there pumping money into a business and you're just losing, 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 okay, maybe it is. But just because that business didn't work out doesn't mean that another one, you know, uh, won't work out. I've failed at 3 or 4 businesses before I've made these work. So part of being an entrepreneur is failing. The only thing is that you have to learn from your failure. You have to learn why you failed, and then the next business that you make, just try not to make the same mistakes. So.
Mhm. No, that is, I think good thing is you're really reinventing into modern, especially Facebook, and
Hmm.
that's
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, some people might disagree with me, but I believe that Facebook ads are a life skill. If you own a business, or if you're trying to make money online, then you have to know how to market yourself. You know, that's why. That's, like I said, that's one of the reasons that I offered the course, because if you're going to go out and get a marketing agency, they're going to charge you between $2,000 and $7,000 per month, and you can do it yourself, and it's not that hard. My course is not very long. I mean, it might be 5 hours, 5 or 7 hours, but once you're done with that, you're going to know pretty much everything that I do. The only thing you're not going to know is how to get clients. You know what I mean? Like how to get business owners, so you could do the ads for them. But I was actually thinking about making another program like that. If some business owners have time, maybe they could run ads for another person and charge them monthly.
Mhm. Mhm. So maybe, yeah. So probably like franchising yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's nothing wrong with that actually. If you if you want to grow and your concept into a movement or a bigger audience, you have to share the stage. You have to give something, and and let the other people join you on the stage, and then it becomes a
Exactly.
movement. Otherwise it'll die down with with yours only, that you knew all the secret. But that's true, but you'll never become big company like Coke or any other big
Yep.
company. Same. Yeah. Okay. Well, it was pleasure talking to you, and I'm sure my audience learned a lot about your techniques, and they'll check out. And thank you for coming to our show. And thank you.
Yep. Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. Take care.